We are live. Ryan did not update his background
as promised.
I don't think he's going to do it. Someone was trying to pressure him last night, and if you want Ryan to do anything, the worst thing you can do is pressure him, because he's just going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, the worst thing you can tell me is that I should do something.
Yeah.
That'll probably make me just not want to do it ever.
Did you fix the white balance on your camera?
No, there's just because it's light
you
out
got natural.
today.
You got natural light coming in now.
Yeah, so I think it looks a little different.
You look presentable today.
It looks the same to me.
So we may have a couple people join us, but we're going to be here for an hour. We got a lot of topics to go over. I haven't seen Ryan since a few hours ago on Tuesday night's main event, so I'm kind of sick and tired of him. I'm kind of sick and tired of him already. But
yeah, we picked the wrong day for this, because it's like the day after we're up like till 1 o'clock in the morning.
But at the same time, we didn't have a lot of options. So, but we do have representation here now. It is Suresh. What's up, Suresh?
What's up?
We're already live, so don't say any gamer words. So, well,
you got it.
You can say them. You can say all the words. We can't.
I can. I'm allowed to.
Rip approved that last night on main event. Him and Mike, they got away with all the words me and Ryan aren't allowed to say. So, I want everyone to not welcome, but shame Dan Vask right now. Just call him names. He's not a good person. He's here in my chat, just disrupting things. But we'll give Dan a quick little, here's how Dan feels about Ryan's background.
I'm gonna teach you the meaning of pain. I'm gonna teach you the meaning of humiliation. I'm gonna teach.
What do you think about Ryan's background, Suresh?
Well, listen, it's very simple. It's muted. I'm getting the red, white, and blue theme, so I like that. It's patriotic. Listen, simplicity is the new sophistication. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was easy. Just throw up a couple dumb lights and that's it. So at least Suresh gets me. Jeremy's been trying to convince a bunch of people to not like it and try to get me to change it by peer pressure. That's not going to work.
So, is this a temporary thing, Ryan? Or
yeah, I'll put up something at some point. Yeah. But it was just I just wanted something that wasn't just the white wall. So I just put one red light, one blue light, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go. When are we going to see Suresh in Orlando? When's that going to happen?
Listen, when I get the invite and I get the green light to come, I'm bringing a truck. I got to bring some stuff. So
hey, you could be there tomorrow if you want. So
I could
let us know. You seriously, there's a spot ready for you. So whenever you want to get there, man, I'll be back tonight. So but I guess let's get this party started. We only got an hour, so obviously there's a lot of news topics to talk about. The first thing I wanted to discuss is another rant from Ted Cruz. Now I could appreciate where he's coming from. But the problem is Ted Cruz is he's kind of been doing this for so long that I'm kind of desensitized to Ted Cruz, screaming about things that need to happen. But let's listen to what he had to say right here.
Number one, I think it was clearly a cover-up. They claim they discovered this on November 2nd. That was a week before the election. And the Biden White House covered it up. The Department of Justice covered it up. The FBI covered it up. When it comes to Donald Trump, they leak like a sieve. They tell you everything they're doing, and yet miraculously they managed to keep this the most hidden state secret. I think it was right next to the nuclear codes, not to let anyone know that apparently Joe Biden leaves classified documents, practically in the glove compartment of his Corvette, just about everywhere he seems to go. I think, secondly, it's just a mess. It is a mess. It is incompetent. It is corrupt. That is an enormous.
Hey, before we keep rolling, we got another guest here. He's new to the political game, so we're going to try to break him into this world. What's up, Drew Hernandez?
What's going on? What's going on, guys? What do we got here?
We're talking about lying Ted, even though I like what he's saying, obviously, but I'm tired of Ted Cruz kind of, pumping his chest about all the things we need to do. But this is where he's talking about the Biden classified documents and the treatment of Donald Trump versus the treatment of Biden. But then he gets into how the FBI needs to raid Hunter Biden's home, which I think we all agree with. I mean, I don't think anyone disagrees with that. It's just another Ted Cruz rant that kind of seems to fall on deaf ears at this point in time. What are your thoughts on that, Drew?
Let me see it.
All right, here we go. You haven't seen this? Because it was like yesterday. So
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So let me back it up so you can get the context.
Cover up. They claim they discovered this on November 2nd. That was a week before the election. And the Biden White House covered it up. The Department of Justice covered it up. The FBI covered it up. When it comes to Donald Trump, they leak like a sieve. They tell you everything they're doing, and yet miraculously they managed to keep this the most hidden state secret. I think it was right next to the nuclear codes, not to let anyone know that apparently Joe Biden leaves classified documents, practically in the glove compartment of his Corvette, just about everywhere he seems to go. I think, secondly, it's just a mess. It is a mess. It is incompetent. It is corrupt. That is an enormous political problem for the Biden White House. It's a political problem for the Biden DOJ, which I think wants to indict President Trump. And they now have an obvious double standard that is jumping off the page. But the next steps, there are two big next steps. Number one, we need to finish examining what other classified documents Joe Biden has failed to keep secure. That means that the FBI needs to search. There are over 1,850 boxes of documents from Biden's tenure in the Senate that are at the University of Delaware. I do a podcast 3 times a week. My last podcast on Verdict with Ted Cruz does a deep dive into this issue, walking through the legal issues, the vulnerabilities. I believe the FBI should search all of those 1,850 boxes of documents to determine if there are classified materials there. But additionally, I believe the FBI needs to search the residences of Hunter Biden and any business offices of Hunter Biden to determine if there are classified materials there. Because if these classified materials in particular implicate Burisma, Ukraine, communist China, payments going to Hunter Biden or Joe Biden's brother or the Biden family, then this shifts from a political problem to a very serious problem of criminal liability and major crimes. And so the FBI needs to search the University of Delaware.
So, of course, they need to do all these things. But why don't they just do it? Like, they didn't make any announcements. There were no public calls to raid Mar-a-Lago. It just happened. You know what I mean? And they still found nothing. If you're publicly going out, like I remember Trump saying this years ago about when reporters kept asking him, like, what are your plans for X, Y, and Z? And he was just like, why would I tell you? Why would I tell you what my plan is for overseas, moves that we're going to make? That's stupid. So for Ted Cruz to come out there publicly and say this, well, that just gives Hunter Biden opportunities to try to hide anything or to destroy anything. You know what I mean? It's so frustrating to me that we continue to have this pumping of the chest and calling things out. But it is funny because they did want to indict Trump over the classified stuff. And now there is in no chance that they can do that now with the recent revelation of almost everybody has classified documents, it seems like, at this point in time. Even Michelle Obama, Big Mike probably has some classified documents somewhere. But yeah, so what do you guys think about this?
It's exactly what we said the first time we talked about this. Is I said, hey, this whole classified document thing doesn't matter. This happens all the time, especially when you're talking about this level of government, especially when you're talking about a guy that close to it, like Trump, who's literally able to determine what's classified and what's not, and all these people that want all these documents for their libraries, whatever. It happens all the time. It's not a big deal. They try to make it into a big deal. Now, the reason that Ted Cruz is doing this, and the reason that it is sometimes important, it's fucking politics, to fucking pump your chest, as you say, is because the reality is, like, these things are not going to happen unless there's a massive public pressure to do so. Because quite frankly, the fucking Senate Republicans don't have power to do anything. So that's all you can do at that point, is get out in front of the public and talk about it and generate anger and outrage about said thing if you're Ted Cruz. there's really not much else they can do from an actual like legal standpoint to try to force anything from this minority position in the Senate.
Yeah, very true. Go ahead, Suresh.
I think Ryan's right, but I think that people are kind of at the point where even the people who feel the strongest about what's going on here deep down know nothing's going to happen. And it's gotten to the point where we see these things happen, we see these things come out, and when it happens to Donald Trump, they were literally calling for him to be like hung and charged for treason. Actually, one reporter said that that the death penalty might be relevant here for the classified documents that Trump had Mar-a-Lago. But now all this is coming out, and what do we see from the left? What we see is excuse after excuse, even as far as some now people on the left, CNN, MSNBC, saying these things happen. Everyone has these documents. It just happens when people leave. They're in politics. So we went from one extreme, charged for treason, they want to like hang them from the tree in front of the White House, to when it happens to these guys. So the worst part about it is the people who feel the strongest about this have kind of given up any hope that anything will happen to any of these idiots. Nothing's going to happen to Biden. Nothing's going to happen to Hunter Biden. No, nothing is going to happen to Michelle Obama. We know now that it's come out. Now, if it was just Trump, we know that they would go after him with every ounce of energy they could. They would spend billions of our taxpayer dollars to go after him if possible. But now that this is all out, we know, everyone on this panel and everyone listening knows nothing's going to happen to anyone. And that's the worst part about it. I've kind of just given up hope in any kind of equality or justice when it comes to anything that happens to anyone on the left.
Yep. What do you think, Drew? And I agree with Suresh.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just me, but I find it interesting. You know, I talked to Roger Stone about this. I've talked to Alex Jones about this, and they all kind of just like think the same thing, that it's interesting timing that all of a sudden Democrats and the left, even the mainstream media, are throwing Joe Biden overboard.
Oh yeah.
You're rarely seeing I think I only saw like one White House correspondent. I think it was like Joe Biden's personal secretary or something on MSNBC yesterday, literally attempting to run cover for Joe Biden, saying, "Oh, we're so transparent. We're going to leave it to the DOJ, and you know the DOJ is going to get all the answers. The DOJ." And it's like I probably saw maybe only one clip, which to me was very interesting. Like I haven't seen MSNBC, like they were pressing this guy very hard. I haven't seen MSNBC do anything like that in years. It's interesting to see the left kind of like shift gears and start to throw. I mean, I'm going to get to the bigger picture here, but just for people that are kind of like, you know, maybe getting introduced to, you know, what the deep state is and the uni-party, and that there's no such thing as Republicans and Democrats. They're all on the same side. That's why you see the Mitch McConnells and the McCarthys of the world that side with Democrats on a majority of things. And people are like, what the hell? I thought we were on our side. No, there is no side. Okay. There is no side. These people are all in unison together because they hate America. That's why they sell out our country, even if there's an R next to their name, to China, the CCP, Ukraine, and you freaking name it. Right. So I do think that you're starting to see this kind of transition of them getting rid of their puppet, Joe Biden, because they're all like on the same wavelength. Like they're all willing to expose it, talk about it. And it's not because it's like some damning thing that's taking place. And, you know, I've talked to FBI agents. I've had them on my show, and I've asked them direct questions. You know, it is what it is. I'm not sure if they're telling me the truth. But when I ask them, I mean, these are like whistleblowers, guys that are coming out that are sick of what the feds are doing, like the deep state are doing. And I've asked them directly, like, yo, what's going on? Like what is going on behind the scenes? Are there actually like patriots within the DOJ, within the FBI, within the NSA, CIA? Like, are there still good men and women? Like, I want to believe, okay, that there are still good men and women in these three-letter agencies that want to see America succeed. And I always get the same answer. They always say, yes, there's absolutely like an internal, like civil Cold War going on in the FBI, the NSA, you name it. So like when I see stuff like this, I'm seeing like this, this back and forth where you're seeing like, because typically you would see like a move like this, like you guys are saying, like against Trump, FBI gets mobilized against Trump. It's like the worst thing in the universe because he has classified documents. But then all of a sudden you're starting to see, oh, well, now they're throwing Joe Biden overboard and Joe Biden's just sitting there looking like, oh, business as usual. So I do think there's some kind of internal thing going on because people need to understand this is how the uni-party works. This is how the deep state works. They will throw their own overboard in order to move forward with their agendas that they want to implement. Like if they got someone that's kind of in the queue, ready to go, next on deck, if they want Kamala Harris or who knows, they want to push in their next puppet, this is how they'll do it. And if Joe Biden isn't going to go away quietly, they'll just remove him like this. See, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like my experience in politics for the last, I don't know, 5-8 years is like one thing is going on in the public, but there's like a completely separate thing going on behind the scenes. And like, I can't see it. I don't know what's going on. So when it might be referred to as a deep state or something like that, right, Drew? Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, I view situations like this and I'm just like, it's interesting to watch them throw Joe Biden overboard over. So the hypocrisy is obvious. We know the hypocrisy is there, but what a lot of people need to understand, and you know, I do a lot of work for Turning Point USA, and I talk to a lot of, you know, students, college kids, a lot of kids that are like kind of barely getting their feet wet when it comes to politics and getting introduced to these things. And I'm like, oh, the first thing I'm going to tell you, okay, when you get into this stuff is there is no side. There are no sides. It's good versus evil. There's no Republican. There's no Democrat. The uni-party exists, and these people are willing to do whatever the hell it takes to hold on to the power that they need to, even if that means crossing party lines, okay? Making it look like they're working across the aisle in order to throw this country overboard. So people need to understand this stuff is not a conspiracy. Like this stuff openly functions in DC. It's been like this for decades. And I'm watching them throw their beloved Joe Biden, that was the savior. You guys remember in 2021 when he got inaugurated? He's going to heal the nation. He's the unifier.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is
Obama, more than Obama. He's great.
Most popular president ever.
Now look where we are.
Ever.
Now look where we are. Okay, how did we go from them protecting their beloved Joe Biden, never letting him seem like he has a flaw, to now you have MSNBC pressing White House correspondents, pressing White House representatives about how Joe Biden is such a flop and irresponsible with classified documents. See, that's not just hypocrisy. That's by design. They're moving into the next phase of whatever they have planned. I'm telling you.
But who and I don't disagree with you, because if you're seeing how it's all amped up in the last month, all of a sudden, suddenly no more protecting Joe Biden and all of that. So the question is who do they think could be the next person up? And I think Hillary Clinton is the person that they would bring in.
There's been a lot of talk. Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris would love.
I can't see them putting her, dude. I can't. No. I can't see that one.
I know. I'm just giving you guys a list.
No, yeah.
Okay, the talk is Hillary Clinton. The talk is Kamala Harris. The talk is, you already saw what they were saying about Fetterneck. The moment that guy got installed, what were they saying over the media?
He looks presidential.
Guys, it sounds like a joke, but people need to understand. They want someone that is just void of a brain. Okay, that is why they want people like Joe Biden. I think they want
Gavin Newsom is the one.
And Gavin Newsom is at the top of that list. That is why Gavin Newsom has been taking trips to the White House, these secret little trips, touring the White House. So that list is up there. Even Michelle Obama is getting thrown around. There are people that these people can go to. It's just a matter of what looks politically acceptable to the masses, to them at the time. And they need people that are not going to question anything. See, that's the problem with these totalitarians, like these globalists and these deep state communists and these people that function like this, is even the Antifas of the world, and the SJWs of the world, even the AOCs of the world are problematic for these people because they have a free will. The potential for these people to wake up is a problem for these people because they could lose control. Everything with these people is control. They need a mind that is 100% obedient, that will question nothing, that will never wake up to the reality that they're being controlled and never want to do their own thing. That is why you see these diversity hires that are implemented like Kamala Harris. And yes, they're stupid. They say the most retarded things up there in front of the entire world. And you're like, how the hell is this person there? Like, yes, it's a diversity hire, but they need these mindless people there because they are simply there to be controlled. If they could have it their way, they would put someone up there that is like jacked into some like Neuralink, AI controlled system where zero flaws, zero thinking for themselves, just absolutely program, like you could just program that person to do and say what you want. If they could have it their way, that's exactly what they would have.
I feel like that's Gavin Newsom. I feel like that's Newsom. He's the good looking Hollywood guy.
You don't think any of these people are blackmailed in DC? It's about control. It's like, hey, we know what you did a few years ago. Oh yeah, we know about your pedophilia. We know exactly we know you like little kids. We know you're this. We got pictures of you with hookers. Bro, this is like DC 101, bro. Yep. There's a reason why they blackmail people. It's because it's all about control. It's not about crossing party lines to get stuff done. Okay. It's not about even being loyal to your party. These people don't care about Republican. They don't care about Democrat. That's why you have these Democrats running around saying, we're about democracy. And they're all tyrants. They're fascists. Yeah. They want control. They don't care about democracy. They're all liars, dude. It's the reason why I know you guys know this. I know everyone on this panel knows what I'm saying. I just know that there's a lot of young people, and this is a show that reaches a lot of young people, and they're getting introduced to the world of politics. And just because I see a lot of people, even like influencers, you see them make these videos. They're like, I can't believe that the conservative side is so corrupt. Like, oh my gosh. It's like, yeah, welcome to the world. Welcome to reality. There's evil everywhere you look. Okay. Like it's good versus evil, God versus the devil. View the world that way. And you won't be surprised when you get a bunch of corrupt conservatives trying to screw everybody on their own side.
And to your point, this is Lindsey Graham talking about Joe Biden. I hope I shared audio.
What are your national security questions?
Same thing for Trump. I mean, why did you do it? What were in the documents? How were they held? Who had access to them? Let me just say this. I've known President Biden for a long time. I don't think I would be shocked if there's anything sinister here.
Thank you, Lindsey Graham. We appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah,
He's such a piece of trash. And that just goes right into what Drew has been alluding to. And God, man, these Republicans they're to me they're worse than a lot of the Democrat. A lot of the Republicans are worse than the Democrats, because at least the Democrats, like the Republicans are trying to pretend like, oh, we really care, we really do care, and we got to fight against these things. And in reality of it is that's not the case at all. Let me grab a couple of these super chats really quickly. Thank you guys for the support. Greatly appreciate it. This one's for Ryan. Here you go, Ryan.
Ryan, for the second time in 2 weeks, you're on stream with the guy that acted as Namor and another that portrayed a Dora Milaje warrior in Wakanda Forever. That is true. On FNT, when Drew was there with Clifton Duncan, Bert super chatted me and said that. And it's pretty close yet again. We do have some Marvel diversity in the house.
We got Henry back to play. Good morning. Just supporting the show. Thank you. And I saw you said, sorry, should have donated by the link. No problem. Never apologize for any type of support, whether that's just being in the comments, super chatting, sending on Streamlabs. Either way, it doesn't matter. Bruce says Ryan's background is ironically the entire list of what the Republicans will get accomplished in the next 2 years. That's very true. That's very true.
We'll see what Kevin McCarthy ends up doing. Like, obviously, these over 20 Republicans that kind of took a stand and made him make a lot of promises. They made him make a lot of fucking promises. And we'll see what the next 2 years pan out.
Did you see what he had to say the other day
About Adam Schiff?
So, well, when he was answering those reporter questions, did you see that one?
He went off on the media via, I think it was yesterday, specifically talking about getting Adam Schiff off the Intel committee. They were holding his feet to the fire about fake gay George Santos and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, let's add some energy against the mainstream media, and I like seeing that. I don't know how real it is, and I don't know if it'll continue, but right now it's good.
Yeah, it was a nice little soundbite, which Republicans are great at. And by the way, Beastie Man says, "Hell yeah, love seeing Drew here. Thank you, appreciate that. We're always happy to have Drew here.
Thank you, Beastie Man."
And yeah, with McCarthy, I mean, you can't, again, going back to what Drew said. I mean, McCarthy was the guy sitting there with a Ukraine pin on his on his jacket. Didn't even have a USA flag, but he had a Ukraine pin.
Well, we just sent 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. Germany's sending tanks to Ukraine. I would call that an escalation if I were Vladimir Putin. But
yeah, it's now, from what I understand, I think Joe Biden's supposed to make comments on Ukraine here in just a minute live. That'll be interesting.
Well, what I saw clips going around of him committing to sending the tanks, and that was a couple minutes ago. So
okay, so that might be what it is. And then because I see this from ALX right here, what Ryan was just talking about. So what a complete and total shit show this entire situation is. Now with the comments from I'll play a little bit of this just from McCarthy, just so we can talk about it really quick. Also, hang on, before we do the McCarthy thing, did you guys see Joe Scarborough this morning
have a meltdown over
have a fucking meltdown? Joe Scarborough is a complete psychopath. Shout out to his dead intern or whatever was in his office all those years ago. But
listen, here's the deal. Yesterday when I was talking about getting COVID and should have gotten a fourth booster shot. A lot of these freaks go, "Oh, fourth booster shot, robot." No, listen, here's the deal, moron. If you get a flu shot, what do? Do you go to the doctor? "Oh my God, you want me to have a 50th flu shot?" No, you get a flu shot every year.
Right.
And as we're finding out with this pandemic, well, it lasts 6 months, maybe a year. So yes, put on your big boy pants, put on your big girl pants. And if you want to be healthy, I don't care. If you don't, that's your business. Smoke cigarettes, do whatever you want to do. Stay up all night, don't sleep. That's fine.
Did Joe Scarborough just say that
your choice?
Did he say there's only two genders? He only referred to putting big boy and big girl pants on.
Oh,
pretty bigoted there, Joe.
He's done. He's done.
Here, though, and let me bring in Reverend Sharpton, because we've talked about this. My concern, Rev, is that there's a disinformation out there where people are saying, "Oh, well, they're
fucking Al Sharpton."
Because you've got to keep
fucking hate that cocksucker.
I didn't know he was in this clip. I haven't seen Al.
Oh, you got to
he's popped up.
You got to hear what this idiot says. We have to hear what this idiot says.
Yeah, dude. Shots. The thing is, you're always trying to build up your immunity. And people are still dying from COVID. Is it a crisis right now? Well, for the people who are dying of COVID, yeah, it's a crisis. Is it as bad as it's been? No. But as a doctor explained to me when I didn't want to get flu shots, you're not just doing it for yourself, Joe. You're doing it for everybody. Will this stop you from getting the flu? No, but it'll make the flu that you get a little less intense. Same thing with COVID boosters. Will it stop you from getting COVID? No, but it will make COVID less intense. Something I said yesterday. But this misinformation keeps getting spewed out there. And unfortunately, the weakest and perhaps the least educated are the ones that fall prey to these stupid lies. And I call them stupid lies. And I don't call things.
Are you talking about black people? Hold on.
Stupid.
Hold on.
They're objective.
Al Sharpton had to go and convince the black community to get jabbed.
Listen, Ryan, as our illustrious president said, poor kids are just as smart and just as capable as white kids. Right? So remember, poor kids are just as smart and just as capable as white kids.
Bro, didn't he say that? Did he say that?
TikTok that black dude made.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Do we have Steph? Do we have Steph?
She's not
modding?
here.
Because
No,
if
they're
she-
both Steph and Chris are
we
both sick right now. So
we got to pull up that clip. But he said that those were his exact words during a speech live. He said poor kids. He's talking about schools and whatever. He said, poor kids are just as smart and just as capable as white kids.
Hold on, I got the clip.
So here we have him talking about people who are like dumb or just not less smart than him. And first of all, he still ran the narrative. Oh, here we go.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.
80 million, guys. 80 million.
81 million.
More votes than Obama, guys. More votes than Obama.
Listen,
I never heard
the best part is people call Trump a racist and they love this guy. And I'm like, wait a second. Hold on a second. Oh my God. Well, listen, what Joe Scarborough is saying, he first of all, he's still peddling the misinformation that now even the FDA and the CDC have come out openly and said that just because you get boosted or vaccinated, that doesn't stop the spread. It doesn't do any of that. But here you go. Here he is saying that I'm doing it for the sake of others. You get your flu shot for the sake of others. He's just perpetuating a lie that now is even countered by the government agencies. So it's laughable at this point.
I wonder what kind of what kind of big pharma advertising money MSNBC is getting. Pretty sure that plays a part too. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's lying. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't even been boosted.
100%.
It's just because MSNBC. Hey, we got a check for 500 million. All right, Morning Joe, you got to go up there. I don't care. Just lie, whatever. Just make the vaccine look good, whatever. Just the dumbass audience needs to know that they need the jab. Pfizer gave us a huge check.
They're paying Jimmy Fallon to dance around and talk about jabs. So yeah, I imagine maybe they're getting paid too.
They're probably not even jabbed.
I don't know why Al Sharpton was in that clip, but he looked like he was fucking dead. He looked like when you go to a fucking funeral and you see a person who's in the coffin. Like, that's what he looked like. He looked like he had already got all like the stuff put in there from the coroner. Like, it looked terrible.
It's bad. It's just bad.
He's their token black guy, dude. He is their token black guy.
You looking for another clip, Jeremy?
I'm looking for that clip of Chris Cuomo. I think it was Cuomo where he did the whole like returned from the basement to see his family for the first time.
Oh, from COVID.
Yeah.
But then there was video that he was out at the gym.
Yes. Yeah. And he was also didn't he cuss out somebody or like he went off on somebody during that period?
Yeah.
Too?
Have you guys seen the fucking Cuomo like the fake weight thing? When like they were doing like a behind the scenes recording and they were showing him working out, but he was using like a fake fucking weight. Because there was like no way he was using like 100-pound dumbbell and like just doing like over the head one fucking arms like this, and there was like you would fucking like dislocate your shoulder if you do it with 100-pound, but he was just doing it like it was nothing.
Think about it. Like look, when it comes to like my shows and stuff, whenever I'm dealing with advertisers, I'm like, okay, what's your product? What is it? Do I believe in it? Does it believe in what I believe in? And then can I use it, especially if it's like something that you use, if it's not just like clothes or whatever. Do I actually wear it? Like, I won't promote anything that I actually like don't actually use. So but we all know, right, that there are people in this space that run advertisers, okay? They'll take the money and they don't use their products. They just want to do the ad read. Okay, that's a known thing. Okay, so think about that on a national scale, on MSM, when it comes to Pfizer and all of this stuff. Like, I would not be surprised if they're taking big pharma money and not even getting jabbed because they just want that paycheck. I don't know. I can't prove that. I'm just like,
it is 100% a valid thing because look, me and Ryan are low tier YouTubers and get fucking hundreds of advertisement, emails every day on shit that people want us to promote or whatever. You can only imagine if a couple of low tier YouTubers are getting hundreds of emails a week or whatever. Look at people on another level. Look at can you imagine the money involved in that shit? You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Let me play this clip real quick of our good buddy, Ryan's favorite person, good old Kevin McCarthy. So did you guys see this clip? I know Ryan alluded to it. Have you guys seen this clip where he popped off at the media?
Which one?
Let's see right here. So hang on. You barely hear the reporter asking him questions. So
Intel committee. Is Santos on the Intel committee? Am I allowing Schiff to be on other committees? Go right ahead.
So he really starts popping off here in just a minute, which is very shocking. I wonder if he's going to keep this energy up or if he's just going to start running back to his bullshit talking points.
He's gotten elected by his district. So, okay, let me be very clear and respectful to you. You ask me a question. When I answer it, it's the answer to your question. You don't get to determine whether I answer your question or not, okay? In all respect. Thank you. No, let's answer her question. You just raised a question. I'm going to be very clear with you. The Intel committee is different. You know why? Because what happens in the Intel committee, you don't know. What happens in the Intel committee of the secrets that are going on in the world, other members of Congress don't know. What did Adam Schiff do as the chairman of the Intel committee? What Adam Schiff did, use his power as chairman and lie to the American public. Even the inspector general said it. When Gavin Newsom put out a memo, he said it was false. When we had a laptop, he used it before an election to be politics and say that it was false and said it was the Russians. When he knew different, when he knew the Intel, if you talk to John Radcliffe, DNI, he came out ahead of time and says there's no intel to prove that, and he used his position as chairman, knowing he has information the rest of America does not, and lied to the American public. When a whistleblower came forward, he said he did not know the individual, even though his staff had met with him and set it up. So no, he does not have a right to sit on that. But I will not be like Democrats and play politics with these, where they removed Republicans from committees and all committees. Yeah. So yes, he can serve on a committee, but he will not serve on Intel because it goes to the national security of America. And I will always put them first, all right? And if you want to talk about Swalwell, let's talk about Swalwell. Because you have not had the briefing. I had the briefing and Nancy Pelosi had the briefing from the FBI. The FBI never came before this Congress to tell the leadership of this Congress that Eric Swalwell had a problem with a Chinese spy until he served on Intel. So it wasn't just us who were concerned about it. The FBI was concerned about putting a member of Congress on the Intel committee that has the rights to see things that.
So I do. I mean, I don't like Kevin McCarthy, but I do like that he's taking this position. And then Adam Schiff sent out a tweet.
Oh yeah, the Democrats are the ones who started this. He's 100% right about that. Yeah. By removing MTG from sitting on any committee for absolutely no fucking reason, they are the ones who decided to set these rules. Now Republicans are just playing by those rules that the Democrats established.
Yeah, and right here, Adam Schiff, who's Adam. I don't know if people in the chat know much about Adam Schiff. He's a fucking terrible piece of shit. But here he is.
That's insane. No, just go read it.
But so here, Adam Schiff is crying about it right now. Again, I hate to continue to go back to the question of, is this all just for show though? Because this got a lot of social media attention. Okay. Got a lot of traction, a lot of people. Again, I used to be the first guy to cheer when Ted Cruz and these guys would get on the floor and call out people like Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey. I'm like, hell yeah, man, let's get it. And then nothing would happen. Nothing. So I appreciate what Kevin McCarthy's doing publicly, but I feel that there's just pageantry to it. I feel it's going to ultimately just be like, oh yeah, we'll work something out behind closed doors, yada yada yada. So Suresh, what do you think about all this?
I think part of what we're seeing here is a little bit of frustration, but I also think we're seeing a little bit of him. I don't want to say flexing, but it is something he needs to do. He needs to show he has a backbone. He needs to, of course, let the media know that he's not going to be playing the same old games. Now, ultimately, will he and will they? I think we all know that it's kind of like the trial lawyer that you get that, says, I'm going to take your case and we're going to fight. We're going to fight the insurance company. We're going to fight whatever. And we're going to take them to trial if need be. And we're going to get every penny out of them. And then in the final hours, as the case goes along, they start saying, I think we should settle. Have you thought about settling? We should probably settle here. It always shifts. It starts out hardcore and then it always fades and it shifts. I think he's just starting out hardcore. I agree with what he's saying. I think we all do. And we're all looking at how he's acting right now. We're like, yeah, man, this is it. Well, is he going to keep it up? No. Do any of us believe that this is going to last? No, we don't. We know it's not going to last. It's, so, I mean, it's nice to see. I'll tell you that. It's nice to see. It's not going to last. It's not, and nothing, I don't want to say nothing's going to come of it, but anything that does come of it is going to be of little to no substance. We know that.
You just got to think of it like Disney movie trailers. You know what I mean? Like, the next Star Wars movie looks incredible. Holy crap. Oh, they're going to bring Luke back. It's going to be amazing. And then they drop The Last Jedi and it's nothing. And they're like, screw you. You give you the middle finger. So for me, I kind of view all of these clips like they're, and let me make this clear. Okay. I don't want people to think like, oh, Drew, you want them to fail because you just need a doomsday narrative because it keeps your brand up. No, I don't want to have to continue to sit here and like get all pissed off all the time because these people are screwing this country over. I want them to succeed when it comes to America. I want these people to thrive. I want them to do the right thing. I'm not sitting here like hoping like, oh yes, I hope today that some American congressman, whether on the left or the right, is gonna screw America over so I can go on the internet and talk about it and get views. Like I don't want that. What I'm saying is I've come to the point where it's like these little clips, okay, of these people talking big, they're like Disney movie trailers. Okay. Like when the movie comes out and there's actual policy, and that's the reality of what these people are claiming they're going to put out soon. That's when I'm like, okay, I can make my decision. You're doing what you're saying you're going to do. Less talk, more action. And that's where I'm at. But I'll also say this. Look at the tweet. Put that, you have that Adam Schiff tweet, Jeremy. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Listen to how big these guys talk. Look at the end of it where he says, blah, 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 blah. Kevin McCarthy just kicked me and Eric Swalwell off the intelligence community. This is pretty political, petty political payback for investigating Donald Trump. If he thinks this will stop me, he will soon find out just how wrong he is. I will always
defend our democracy.
For the viewers out there, this is the same Adam Schiff. Let's fast forward from the Russiagate hoax. Okay. Even what came out in the Twitter files, okay, just a couple months ago. Adam Schiff, on behalf of someone on his own team, literally attempted to pressure Twitter to ban and silence and deplatform political opponents that they claim. This is what Adam Schiff personally was doing this with Twitter, okay, colluding with big tech, attempting to pressure big tech and Twitter to censor political opponents that he claimed they were saying inappropriate things. They were saying things against us that were disinformation. You got an American politician. Okay, this is real corporate fascism. An American politician working alongside a corporation in order to suppress a human being's free speech that's speaking out against them, a so-called elected leader. So you tell me, is that democracy or not? No, I would say that's quite the opposite. Okay, that is literal corporate fascism. That is who Adam Schiff is. But they throw these little terms around because they get the weak-minded lemmings out there thinking like, oh yes, Adam Schiff is going to defend our democracy because we all have a voice. Yeah, you only have a voice unless he says you can have a voice.
Right.
On Twitter, don't buy it. Don't buy it because I know there's a lot of people on this channel that are kind of like sitting, they're watching, which is good. Always be critical of what both sides are saying. Listen to what they're saying, but really understand they don't mean this stuff. They don't care about democracy. They don't care about your constitutional republic, because this is the same guy that went after political opponents on Twitter to shut them down from speaking bad against them. Like,
absolutely. As I say, those that preach the loudest have the most to hide. And, you know, this guy has no actions to support his words at all. And I saw we got a couple more super chats. Let's see. Salty Source Rex says, Drew, let's see. These media companies are the same people that will ignore a story about two gay people abusing adopted children and filmed it. Even as a Buddhist, I know that is demonic, and these people should admit their bias. Yeah.
We all say this too. I'll say this too. Like MSNBC, like, oh, Morning Joe wants to virtue signal and be like, oh, well, you know, it's just like the flu shot. And I take multiple boosters because my doctor said it's not about me, Joe. It's about others. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh. And yes, there's a lot of it's like, okay, Morning Joe. Well, how come you don't inform your audience the possible negative side effects of taking this thing that are happening in the public? How come you don't inform your audience about that, Morning Joe? Oh, because you care so much about American people. You care so much about the public health. You have public health interests, but you're unwilling to communicate any information about the possible side effects of taking the new mRNA. You don't talk about that. You want to know why? Because he doesn't care. He does not care. Do not fall for the virtue signaling. And I'm telling you, they're on that payroll. And that's exactly, he can't speak out against it. It's probably not that he won't. It's probably that he can't. That's my opinion. If I don't get sued.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, what do you got?
No, I mean, Adam Schiff is an enormous piece of shit. I actually really liked when Matt Gaetz was on Tim Pool not that long ago.
That was a great episode.
It really was.
Matt Gaetz was fucking awesome. Matt Gaetz was really good.
He was great. And he was talking about Adam Schiff, and he's like, hey, listen. Or no, he's talking about Swalwell at this point. He's like, listen, yeah, some fucking hot chick wanted to fuck him. All right, whatever. That's not even why I dislike Eric Swalwell. You know what I mean? Just be like straight up honest about it. I loved it. But yeah, I think that I like the fact that Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell are not on the Intel committee. When you abuse your position of power, when you lie to the American people like Adam Schiff, when he has this position of authority as chairman of the Intel committee and says, I know things that you don't know. You have to trust me when I tell you that Trump did this, 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 and this. And he's just lying to everybody. Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be on there. Quite frankly, he doesn't deserve to be in Congress. Let's be real. But if people are going to elect him, people are going to fucking elect him. And so we'll see if it keeps up. I think the people that deserve the credit for Kevin McCarthy speaking the way he is now is not Kevin McCarthy. It's those 20 or so members of the Freedom Caucus who decided to take a stand and force him into this more hardline stance. So I think that that's where any credit has to go for the type of tone that Kevin McCarthy is taking right now. Will it continue? We'll see. If it doesn't continue, will they actually, go down there with like the single vote of no confidence in the speaker and have to do this entire fucking thing again? That's the way they can hold him accountable, at least in this situation.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. The last topic that we're going to talk about, and I just kind of threw this one in because I thought it was kind of funny. Trump on True Social says Mike Pence is an innocent man. He never did anything knowingly dishonest in his life. Leave him alone. I wonder what Trump's angle is here, because clearly Mike Pence is going to be running in 2024. Mike Pence is him and Trump have clearly had their differences. And so I wonder what his angle is here.
That sounds like a troll to me.
I think so too, especially the knowingly part. You know what I mean? Knowingly dishonest. So Trump's got to have something up his sleeve with this one, and I don't know what it is.
Anyone that knows how much Mike Pence became a Judas, it's Donald J. He's obviously trolling Mike. I think that's a troll.
I don't know. There's been a lot of people who have backstabbed and betrayed Trump. There's been establishment Republicans that have done that, and what happens? He says, "Hey, I support this guy for Speaker of the House. Hey, I support this guy in his fucking Senate race."
Maybe you're right. You're right. Maybe you're right, because
but all those people all still have some type of something that Trump can utilize for his event? Like, what's the motivation to support Pence at this point?
Maybe he doesn't want to have this fucking primary fight with Pence. Maybe he doesn't want to have to go through that. And I don't think it's a threat, but I don't know if there's any people who might be swayed by things that Mike Pence could say. So maybe it's something like that.
Maybe. No, it's a fair point. It's hard to believe Trump not wanting to fight anyone because it's what he lives for. But I see your point. I mean, this is his former VP, which that's definitely that's a tough one right there.
Yeah, that's not a good look. And I think we often get caught up in how we view the political landscape. The reality is the vast majority of people in the country, I don't think view it the same way as we do. I think a lot more of them have no reason to be inherently distrustful of the establishment because they're not paying as close attention as everybody is. So just the idea that Mike Pence would be out there in a primary battle against Donald Trump might inherently turn people off from it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I look at it a little bit. It's not everyone's like me. Not everyone's like us. Not everyone's like the people in the chat who are actually fucking engaged on this level.
I also don't think Trump thinks about it that much either, though. Not from that perspective. Again, I always reference the 2020 or the lead up to the 2016 in South Carolina. George W. Bush coming back to the campaign trail for the first time to campaign for Jeb. At that time, I think he had like a 93% approval rating for Republicans, South Carolina. And Trump's just like, yeah, they lied about weapons of mass destruction. It's just like, and got booed out of the fucking building. And then he just accused all those people booing are the donors and special interests. I'm like, this man is insane. And I love it because he just doesn't operate by the same political playbook that any other politicians ever has. So, but it doesn't change the fact that I think Ryan's got valid points there for sure. Knowingly is the key to it, though. Somebody just commented that. And the knowingly part was pretty interesting. So, we'll see how that one plays out. Let me see. We got a couple more here. We've got Hercules Hernandez says Greta. Oh, that was back when we were talking about who were the Democrats gonna push.
Greta.
Oh God.
My God, imagine, dude.
She's not old enough.
Wasn't Kamala trying to steal her lines the other day when she gave like an abortion speech? Like, how dare they?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
so bad. It was so bad.
She was stealing Greta's lines, bro.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I'm telling you, dude.
Hey, she took down Top G. So
I mean, not everybody. So. There's some people that abortion's a big issue for them because not everyone swallows as well as Kamala does. Some people are looking for different forms of birth control, I guess.
Patriot gets thought for 5 says preach. Thank you for that. Online college dropout. All McCarthy can really do is hold up crap legislation and maybe cut spending. Those are $20. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what McCarthy's able to do. But I don't anticipate any long-term rants like that moving forward. Be cool if it happens.
Maybe Frost will run.
Shit.
Oh God.
If flag it. Oh, go ahead.
His policy peace.
Hey, she did say she's leaving the gaming industry, so maybe she's got a new gig in politics.
That's her greatest contribution to Frost's greatest contribution to the gaming community is leaving it. Thank you.
Yeah. That was the fact that she thought that anybody would care. No self-awareness whatsoever. Shout out to Chrissy Mayer, man. Chrissy Mayer, that was so damn funny on Friday Night Tights when she came in. Holy shit, that was good. Flag Ninja becomes a 6-month member message. Hail. Thank you for that. Mike Hill says, saw proof on Twitter. Joe Biden loves Jay's feet. They say member message. That is an image a lot of people that were watching Tuesday night's main event will never forget. That was a rough meme. 860 saying God says, you couldn't pay me to believe that 80 million people is true. Hey, most popular president ever. All those ratios on YouTube, don't pay attention to that. It was just the alt-right trolls, okay?
Yep.
Just the alt-right trolls.
Bigger than Obama.
Yep. Let's see. Thoughts on fitness with Nigel. Ryan, Ed Strecker's background is the UFO, in UFO is the same. There you go, Ryan. You're getting some support.
There you go. Thank
you. Let's see. BC Man 420 299 super sticker. Thank you for that. For the Emperor, hail the panel. Thank you. Let me check Stream Labs. So I know we've missed. Did we miss last week on this show? Because
did you guys do it?
We were moving. No, we didn't do it because we were moving shit. And
okay.
So obviously you guys know we're getting everything set up in Orlando. I've been in Orlando. I had to come back to Pensacola, but I'll be back tonight. We do have a Fortnite stream. I'm going to try to make it back to Orlando in time for that, and I believe we're going to have some special guests on there tonight. It won't be Drew this week, but maybe we can get him next week. So but I miss Fortnite. I miss it a lot. But a lot more content is coming your way. You're gonna see Suresh hanging out with us very soon. At some point, we'll have to get Drew down there. And who knows? Maybe in a crazy scenario, we'll get Alex Jones to the house to play some Mario Kart at some point in time. I mean, holy shit, how crazy would that be? Suresh, let's make it happen, man. We got to get Alex Jones. I think Drew could help us pull that one off too. So
let's do
Alex
it.
That would Mario Kart. What the fuck?
That would just be wild. That would just be wild. It'd be so much fun.
It would be the greatest thing ever, dude. Oh my god. I mean, who wouldn't want to see this actually happen in real life right here? I know everybody wants to see it. Where's it at? Let me find the clip. Where's that? Damn, here it is. Who wants to see this in real life?
We're gonna get you, assholes. Just know that. Fuck them! Fuck them! Sick of their shit. I don't fucking care anymore.
That's literally Mario Kart. You're in first place. You're like, yeah, we got it. And then a blue shell. Fuck them. I hate this game. I don't even care anymore.
That looks like Alex Jones at like Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
But we got to try to make that happen. But let's see where are we at here. Oh, did I miss this one or did it
just came in? Just came in.
They just came in.
Let's see. Tamani 3905. We're I a believer in the 4D chess claims. Maybe Trump losing in 2020 was the perfect scheme to prove to even the most ignorant voter that Dem policies truly are ruining our country. If I believe those claims, that is. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't believe the 4D chess claims of Trump. What I do believe is that Donald Trump he has instincts that are, you can't teach instinct. You can't teach your gut feeling. Those are things that people just have naturally, and then they develop over time. And he just has instincts that are beyond most people's. He clearly is a lot more strategic than a lot of people believe. You don't become a billionaire businessman over the course of 40 years like he has. You don't build the relationships you've built and maintain a lot of those relationships without being very strategic. But I think he operates with his gut. And I think that his mere presence creates such a meltdown with the left in Hollywood, the same Hollywood that loved him for 40 years or 30 years. Yeah. Now they hate him. Same with Elon Musk. It's happening with Elon Musk. But I think that Trump just has these instincts that are insane. And then there's things that look like 4D chess, but no, I don't believe the 4D chess, never have. But, you know, Ryan definitely believes it.
No, I don't. Some things just work out well for people. Some things don't work out. There are fucking things that Trump does that don't work out that he reverses, and he's like, well, let's just forget about fucking that thing. Let's not talk about that again. You know what I mean? But oftentimes we remember how well things end up working out for him and all the shit that he predicts right. So I don't think it's a 4D chess thing, but I do think that he has good instincts a lot of the time.
Very good.
He will always go with his gut. Most of the time, I think that works out. Sometimes it backfires.
Yep. But who will Jones choose as a character, Toad? Honestly, man, I think this, I talked to him about this a while back, and I told him, I was like, dude, this is before we had everything set up in Orlando, but I'm like, I will come over, I will come to Texas, I will bring a Switch, I will set it all up, I'll get it all set up, but this way we'll just fly him out to Orlando, come hang out at Geeks and Gamers headquarters, play some Mario Kart with us. So
Oh my God, that'd be wild. That'd be so. You got to let if that is even coming to fruition in the slightest bit, you got to let me know.
Yeah, you know I will. You know I will. Suresh, what do you got going on, man?
Nothing, man. SHOT Show was crazy. Got to hang out with the man himself out there, Jay. He was doing some stuff with 9 Line, so it was great to connect with Jay out there and Jake. And it was just a good time. You know, it was a good time to reconnect with a lot of people. So a lot of people in the industry. So it was great. And you know, 221B had this big party. I wish you guys could have been there. Jay was there, so it was
heard
nice
about
to
it.
see him there. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, man, we got a lot of things going on. A lot of new networking with a lot of people in the industry, and we're seeing obviously. You guys know, John talked about this, a convergence of people from the tactical community, the firearms community, hunting, outdoors, merging together also with communities like fitness and gamers. So it was nice to see a little bit of diversity of people from different interests and backgrounds in the crowd at SHOT Show. And that's what we need. That's what we need to come together and, ultimately strengthen numbers here. The more numbers we have from different groups who are like-minded, like we are here on this panel, and a lot of your, followers, listeners, viewers, subscribers, the better. So we need to build those numbers, build that strength. 221B Tactical is a big part of that, and we'd like to be an even bigger part of that as we move forward. And that's why excited about the house and excited about everything that's going on, and I can't wait to come up there.
Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to it. Drew, tell them where they can find you, buddy. How's that Rumble channel popping?
It's doing really well. But did you guys cover Gavin Newsom walking around saying like the Second Amendment's a suicide pact with armed bodyguards? Did you guys play that? I came in late.
No,
I haven't
stop
seen
it.
Like
Yes. I want to see Suresh's reaction to that.
Let me see.
You got to pull that up, bro. That was like 2 days ago.
There's been like the past couple days
on Twitter. It'll pop
How did I miss that?
The past couple of days have just been next level with the amount that they're pushing every single shooting that happens. Unless it's like, in Chicago where like one dude with a handgun mowed down like 5 people and executed them. That's cool.
All right, here we go.
I mean, the Second Amendment's becoming a suicide pact. I mean, it's just, and that's the only question the community wants. How do you, what about our kids when they're going to school? What more can we do? And, again, we look at that all the time. I mean, we did another half dozen gun safety bills last year. We'll continue to find whatever loopholes we can. We'll continue to lead the national conversation on gun safety reform. And the data bears out it works. It saves lives. California's 37% lower gun death rate than the rest of the nation. And yet, with all that evidence, no one on the other side seems to give a damn. They can't get anything done in Congress.
Those guys have to be armed, right, Suresh? I mean, they
all
got
of
their
them.
all of them.
Yep. All of them are armed.
What's your reaction, man? I wanted to hear what you.
So Gavin Newsom says the Second Amendment is a suicide pact while being flanked by multiple armed security guards. You truly can't make this up, Suresh.
I've seen this for such a long time, nearly 15 years in law enforcement, training with high-level people. You guys know the people I've trained with, SEAL Team 6 guys, Delta Force guys, all this, you name it. And I hear the stories from them. They have literally been on protection details with AR-15s behind someone who's at a podium saying, we need to ban AR-15s. So it's honestly, it's laughable. It's absolutely laughable at this time. And to me, anyone who still believes people like Gavin Newsom, that they think that this guy has their, is out, for, their rights and their protection, their safety. Just look at California. It's a complete mess. I talked to some people from San Francisco, Los Angeles, out in Las Vegas at SHOT Show. They said that the media is not even close to reporting the actual train wreck and disaster that California is. People are fleeing Los Angeles, people are fleeing San Francisco, and it's all because of this guy. But when you go back to the weapons issue, we know that people who want to do harm are going to do harm in any means possible. If they don't have access to a gun, they're going to get a truck or a car, they're going to run people over. You see they're getting knives and going on stabbing rampages. They're doing all these things because they're crazy, they're mentally ill, and they have the intent to kill people. So they're going to find a way, they're going to do it. But the hypocrisy of talking about it and saying that it's a suicide pact when you literally have 4 or 5 guys that are probably armed with multiple weapons walking behind you. It's the same thing about talking. We see it time and time again. We saw sanctuary. We got to bring them in. We need to embrace the people. We need to do this. And the second they landed on Martha's Vineyard, they called in the fucking National Guard to get them out of there. It's the same thing. We need to be open. We need to be open. What happened when they got the busload of the migrants in front of Kamala Harris's house? Of course, what did they call? They called the Secret Service, they called the police, they called the state police, they called everyone under the sun to get that bus out of there and get those people out of there, because not in front of Kamala's house. It's just ridiculous. And to me, anyone, I don't care if you are someone who's a Second Amendment supporter and you're on the right, or if you are anti-gun and you're on the left and you're all about banning guns. You should watch this video. If you are an anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, and a gun-grabbing supporter, you should watch this video and look at all these men who are heavily armed behind this man, and you should say 2 things. This guy is a hypocrite, and 2, all these people should be disarmed behind him, and they should just be walking with their bare hands, because if it's not a problem, why are they there armed with weapons? They are there armed with weapons in case a bad guy with a gun approaches this man and tries to harm him, and they will respond with their guns. And the reality is, Gavin Newsom knows that there will never be a time where he will walk down the street with unarmed security, because he's so confident that there is no gun in the hands of any bad guy with any ill intention. So he's going to walk confidently with unarmed security behind him. They will never do it. None of them will ever do it. Mark my words. And that right there is the epitome of hypocrisy. And anyone looking at that should know that and say, okay, well, these guys aren't serious. They're simply not serious about what they're saying.
Yep. I mean, dude, a good guy. So this is Gavin Newsom basically co-signing the idea that a good guy with a gun is better than a bad guy with a gun. And that's what we all say all day long.
He obviously doesn't have any faith in all of his gun policies, right?
Yeah.
Because he's walking around with all those guys.
What a I'm glad Drew brought that up. What a piece of garbage, dude.
Even if all his policies are successful and they take away all the guns from people, like
law-abiding people,
law-abiding people, you'll still see videos like this, because this is exactly what it will look like. If he gets his way, he'll still be walking around with armed guards. They're not going to get rid of their guns because they're the elites. And at the same time, notice who else gets covered under that umbrella. He's standing with designated media. You see how far this begins to go? Not just Gavin Newsom, but the media gets protection by guns. The same media that's pushing the narrative that we need to get rid of all of these scary, bad, evil guns. Oh, but she gets protected too because the state approved me. This is like North Korea, bro. I mean, that's what
let me say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say this because Drew, you just brought something up. The number one profession of people coming into our office and our store in New York City at 221B Tactical to buy body armor, following the ban on body armor put forth by the New York State governor, guess who it was? Reporters. Reporters were coming in day after day after day to get body armor to do their reporting in various parts of the city, and some were going abroad. And we're like, you guys are the ones that reported on the body armor ban, and it's you guys that are pushing this narrative that body armor in the hands of innocent people is dangerous.
Dude, Siraj,
and here you are.
You got to get that stuff out, bro. Like record that stuff, dude. That's huge. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. That's huge,
and there's the people coming from the networks we all know about. It's the people from the networks we all know about. We're like, What? How are you reporting on this and supporting this, and yet you're coming in here sneaking in the back door saying, "I need some body armor"? Like, are you fucking kidding?
Wow, that's wild,
bro.
That's good stuff.
You got to record that stuff, bro. Like, that's a huge story. That's like stuff that like Tucker will pick up. That's huge.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
I'm just happy Drew. We got to get Drew and Suresh together more. Like they gotta. I'm sure Drew's gonna get Suresh on at some point. Suresh,
that's
it's
a story right
I'd
there.
love it, brother.
Heck yeah. I shared this meme the other day, just because it's so perfect. I bet if more people of color, or more people of color bought guns, white males would support gun control. And you see the white guy and the black guy. Hey, sweet gun, you want to go shoot? Hell yeah. Then the NPC. No, you're supposed to be racist. And that's the real world right there. I'm really glad Drew brought that up though about Gavin Newsom. I didn't even hear about that. That was wild. That was wild. What a fuck. But again, you look at Gavin Newsom and like he is Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. I mean, he is Christian Bale's character from American Psycho.
Yeah.
He's just he's got that suave kind of look to him. He's well spoken. He's got everything the Democrats want. I think that Gavin Newsom's going to be the person. If they eventually do get rid of Biden, they're going to plug Gavin Newsom into that.
I agree. That's my prediction.
But because there's only like
Trudeau, he will be our Trudeau for sure.
Regardless if it's Trump or DeSantis, and I obviously feel like it's going to be Trump. But those are, regardless of which two, those are two powerful personalities. They're going to be very popular. Joe Biden, like it's falling apart. I mean, even that clip that we showed earlier with Joe Biden and the comments that he made about poor kids and white kids, that was in 2019. Look at how much he's deteriorated.
Yeah.
Like even from then, he still kind of had that Joe Biden kind of slight energy about him.
And he's not going to have the excuse of COVID to like not make appearances on the campaign trail and stay in his basement and everything. You know what I mean? They're going to have to get him out there even more in front of people.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they like 25th Amendment him. Oh, he has to be impeached. He has dementia, but they're not going to do it in a negative light. They'll be like, he has dementia. They'll confirm
it's like they care. It's like they care. It's like they
he's
care.
Got dementia. He served his country well. They'll send him out into the sunset. Like
Lindsey Graham will hold his hand as they walk out of the White House together or something.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Sensei Sharkbait says Kyle answered some deep personal questions last night. Yes, balls. Yes, Kyle Rittenhouse was on with Nick Rekieta last night. I watched a little bit of it. That started while Tuesday night's main event was ending, but I did watch a little bit of it. But I'm going to check the rest of it out. Shout out to Nick Rekieta for that. Gold Bud said it was political suicide talking about Gavin Newsom. Bert says Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, was married to Gavin Newsom for 5 years. Yes, she was.
Mm-hmm.
Brown guys.
Aren't they engaged? I think
Trump Jr. and I think so.
Kim Guilfoyle. I think they're engaged now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brown Geyser says I was carjacked once. I'm not saying that if I had a gun, I would have stopped it. I just want just the bad guys. I just don't want the bad guys to have them. 2A for life. Absolutely. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up. Drew, what do you got going on, man?
Yeah, you guys could follow me. I have my show on Real America's Voice every single night. You guys can find the links. You can just go to my Twitter, Drew H Live. You can find all the links to my show, Frontlines, on Real America's Voice. I do my own podcast on Rumble. You guys can find that as well. I do it twice a week as much as I can. So yeah, that's what you guys get. And I do have an interview tonight on Frontlines. I'm talking with Dr. Robert Malone. I'm actually excited to ask him some
awesome
questions. So you guys can check that out tonight on Real America's Voice. All the show times are in the link in my bio on Twitter, Drew H Live.
Yeah, guys, make sure mods drop those links. I see Eric K is already on it. Thank you, Eric K. Eric K is always on point. We appreciate Eric. Shout out to him and the rest of the mods. And let's see. Justin, what's up, Justin Proper? I can't stand Gavin Newsom. Politics are not fun unless it involves legalizing 420. Also, Bengals for the Super Bowl. P.S. Mario Kart. Always spelling Mario Kart the wrong way. Bengals for the Super Bowl, I think it's a pretty good pick, Justin. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Mahomes hurt.
Yeah. So I think that's a good pick for sure. All right, guys. Well, thank you. We got Fortnite over on Geeks and Gamers Play. Although I was considering hosting it on the main channel. We'll see. It depends on how quickly I can get back to Orlando, because I'm going to hit the road as soon as this stream ends. So we'll see. It's either going to be on Geeks and Gamers or Geeks and Gamers Play, but either way, we're going to be playing. We'll have some special guests on there tonight. Looking forward to it. Ryan, are you going to have your background updated before Friday Night Tights?
Yeah, probably. That's a couple days, so probably. No promises, though.
All right, guys. So make sure you follow Suresh 221 Be Tactical, Drew over on Rumble, RK Outpost, and obviously Geeks and Gamers. Thank you guys so very much for all the support. We appreciate it. Have a great day, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.
See you guys. See